Hello and welcome to another super exciting episode of People's Voice on VOP Television, where we take with very, very much importance the matters that are affecting Nigerians every day and every time. And of course, we talk about these political issues in a way that is relatable to Nigerians. And we also know that your voices, your concerns, your stories, and perspectives matters in the scheme of things. I am Adefunke Jaisimi, and today we are taking a critical look at something that has got a lot of Nigerians talking: the proposed salary review of elected officials from the president downwards. And that has sparked widespread concerns and reactions with a lot of people. I mean, there's so much to talk about. But before I get into that conversation, let's look into some news highlights at the moment. Let's start with Oyo State in Ibadan, where Oba Rashidi Ladoja is set to become the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land on September 26, 2025. The coronation ceremony will take place at the historic Mapo Hall in Ibadan, or your state capital. This development follows Governor Seyi Makinde's formal approval of Ladoja's nomination, paving the way for his enthronement as the paramount ruler of Ibadan in Oyo State. In preparation for the ceremony, a state government delegation met with Ladoja and the members of the Olubadan in council at his Bodija residence to finalize arrangements. As a former Oyo State governor and senator, Ladoja brings a wealth of experience to his new role. His experience as a politician and an elder statesman is expected to further the development and cultural prestige of Ibadan land and, of course, the beautiful people of Ibadan. The Speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly, Adebo Ogundoyin, has congratulated Ladoja on his confirmation and approval as the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land. Ogundoyin described the development as momentous, blending royalty, experience, and statesmanship. The coronation is expected to draw dignitaries from across Nigeria and beyond, marking the beginning of a new chapter in Ibadan's traditional leadership and reinforcing the city's position as a cultural and political powerhouse in Yoruba land. Interesting time, trust me, and of course, congratulations again to Oba Ladoja, because this is someone that a lot of people have said this is destiny at play. Former Oyo State governor, a former senator, and of course now the Olubado. There is an adage that if Olubado ba wonika, Olubado is not just a king. It's not just your regular king. He's a king that has so much respect and, of course, a lot of honor attached to that too. So congratulations to him and, of course, the entire people or the indigents of Ibadan Kingdom. Let's talk about other top news stories in Nigeria today as we talk about the 2027 elections. A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress APC, Dominic Alancha, has warned that an alliance between Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar could deplete the APC support base in the 2027 elections. Those are his opinions, but a lot of people find that valid because we know that people had put together the results of Obi and Atiku in the last election, and have also speculated that if they had come together like they did in 2019 with that same Obi Atiku ticket, maybe something different will have happened in 2023. But yes, the projections are quite high for 2027, with a lot of people projecting the possibilities of having these two run together and maybe unseating the incumbent, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Away from that story, let's talk about security, where armed herders have killed a mother, a son, and two others in a fresh attack on Eguma and Ogbai communities in Agatu local government area of Benue State. This is a very, very sad incident, just when we think that resettlement of the people of Yewata should be the goal for the Benue State government. This has happened again in Agatu local government area. But in Kano State government has talked about amnesty. The state government plans to grant amnesty to repentant thugs, with 718 already profiled and 960 waiting to be profiled. According to reports, the governor has said that the Kano State is not a state known for thuggery and for issues around insecurity and having too many young people vulnerable on the street and causing mayhem. So the right thing to do is to embrace them. Maybe they can become better citizens. But let's look into economy, where the United States Department of State has stated that Nigeria's 70,000 naira minimum wage is lower than its poverty level income, citing weak wage enforcement across the country. And in another story relating to that, let's talk about naira depreciation. Naira has recorded 3 consecutive depreciations against US dollar, despite the country's external reserves rising to $41 billion. how long are we going to do this? But whatever needs to be done, we need a naira that is stable. And of course, maybe let's start from stability, then we can talk about competing with other currencies in the world. But in the world of crime, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has repatriated 51 foreign nationals convicted of cyber terrorism and internet fraud, bringing the total number of deportees to 112. And another news that has gotten a lot of people talking was the incident of an assault on an NYC member, which has caused a reaction from the state government. The Anambra state government has dismissed 8 operatives of the Agone Chamber security outfit over the assault of a female National Youth Service Corps member, Jennifer Elobo. I saw that video and I think nobody deserves to experience that. And it's becoming a trend how people go for women and the first thing that they want to do to them is maybe strip them of whatever they are wearing, make them naked just to embarrass them. We need, I don't know if we can pass into law, but there was a senior colleague was talking on another medium earlier today and it was citing the case of making it a case. If you get to strip any woman naked, whether your wife or whoever, then it should be called a crime. Then you should pay heavily for it. But it's unfortunate that we are here. We do not have so much respect for women, and women, it's that time we also stood up for one another. When we go out, dress properly, cover up well, but enough is enough with this continuous harassment in the society. And this is not just coming from men alone. A lot of women even do that to women. When you're fighting, the first thing they want to do is just to strip fellow women naked. But let's move away from that story and talk about something totally different. But we'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll come to talk about the recent proposal, which has caused a lot of reaction, where a lot of people have suggested that there should be an increase in salaries for political office holders in Nigeria. But do well to be a part of this conversation. The number to call will scroll on your screen shortly. Call us via WhatsApp or text us to let you know what you think about these conversations. We'll be back after this break. Stay tuned.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Many thanks for staying with People's Voice. Yes, the story is not new. A lot of reactions have been happening all day, but we want to get the people's thoughts on this, the proposal to increase salaries of political office holders in Nigeria. And this has sparked a lot of criticism. And maybe fortunately, there are a lot of people that still support this. A lot of people feel like, okay, these people also deserve a review if Nigerians' salary had been reviewed. But many stakeholders are arguing that it is insensitive and poorly timed. But the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, has planned to review the current salary structure, citing rising responsibilities and economic challenges. The current salaries for political office holders have remained unchanged since 2008, with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu currently earning 1.5 million naira monthly and ministers receiving less than 1 million naira, according to reports. However, various groups, including the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Northern Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, the Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, have expressed strong opposition to the proposal, labeling it as provocative, insensitive, and selfish. One of the many arguments against the proposal is that it is a tone deaf, given the economic hardship faced by many Nigerians, with soaring food inflation, high fuel costs, and an adequate minimum wage. Critics argue that increasing salaries for political office holders would be insensitive and exacerbate income inequalities. Additionally, political leaders already enjoy huge allowances, perks, and discretionary funds that far exceed the minimum wage of 70,000 naira. But on the other hand, the RMAFC argues that the current salaries are inadequate, unrealistic, and outdated. As the commission responsible for determining salaries for political office holders, they believe that a review is necessary to reflect the rising responsibilities and economic challenge faced by these officials also. However, critics also have so much to say to counter their claims, saying that they've questioned the moral authority of politicians to demand sacrifices from citizens while seeking to increase their own salaries. They also talk about warning. Some have warned that the proposal could inflame passions and precipitate social unrest given the widening income gap and poverty in Nigeria. There's been a lot of voices, notable voices opposing the proposal include Professor Chidi Nwachukwu, who stated, "It's like Nigeria exists to care for greedy politicians while the masses are being ignored." Another voice from Dr. Samson Simon added, "The priorities are wrong. Why pay a primary school teacher a fraction of that and expect results?" Uluomotayo also noted most politicians don't even live on their salaries. Their allowances and travel perks already run into millions. I mean, these are the concerns of a lot of Nigeria at this time. That we know that what you call their salary is not what they earn, because there's nobody that earn that and live the kind of lives this politician lives. But it's never a one-man show on People's Voice. It's time to get better understanding, perspective, and of course analysis into these issues. I'm now being joined in the studio by Mr. Dele Fanimo, VOP TV senior in-house analyst. Good afternoon, Mr. Dele Fanimo.
Good afternoon, Adefunke.
This topic is not new. As a matter of fact, everybody has been talking about it. We need to talk about it from the people's angle, how the people are seeing it. Yes, arguments have been happening all day. A lot of analysts have shared their thoughts on this, but let's look at this from the economic perspective. Do you think, or don't you think that increasing salaries for political office holders would further exacerbate the economic burden on Nigerians who are already struggling with high inflation and poverty? And recall that a lot of Nigerians have said that we should even cut down the cost of governance. So how does the government come out to explain what they are doing to ensure that Nigerians don't feel bad about bearing the pains of what is happening at this moment?
You see, my quarrel is not salary increase. My quarrel is the timing. It's been close to a year now that we arrived at 70,000 minimum wage. Some states are yet to pay. And this is at a time when prices of goods and services had almost quadrupled. Now, these people are expected to live. They're expected to survive. How do they do it? Sometimes we wonder what to earn and what to spend. The difference, where does it come from? And these politicians, they know themselves that the basic salary is what is out there. But the perks of office far outstrip the basic salary. Let's look at the National Assembly. The National Assembly, by law, a member is entitled to 13 workers, from PA to research officer to constituency officer, SS, And the salaries of these people are paid in lump along with the legislator's salary.
There's not a special allowance for that. Is there a special allowance for their
It's a special allowance, but they paid them
together with the salary.
Ordinarily, they should have told them to appoint those people and let their wages
be paid from the government directly.
But what we have now is, for every of those people's salary, the legislator who supposedly employed ghost workers are the ones earning that salary. And that salary for the 13 officials cannot be less than 3 million.
Even the ones that don't have ghost workers, Mr. Fanimo, you need to know what they pay these people. Even the ones that have active people in constituency office, they pay them terribly low.
That is it. Now, a governor, a president, the day you are declared winner of an election, not when you are sworn in, you begin to enjoy the perks of office.
True.
A governor does not even require to dip his hand in his pocket or carry money.
True.
People carry money for them. For the duration of his service in the government house, he doesn't know how much petrol is sold. His wardrobe, government takes care of it, and that of the wife, and that of the children.
Wow.
When you add that to the salary that they are complaining about, so can there be any justification for this increase?
Okay, how about you look at the timing? They said the last time it was reviewed was in 2008. Did you?
Even if let it be 1999. Meanwhile, the lecturer that produced these people is still on campus. His salary is still, as professor, is still less than 600,000. Yet, you are not looking at them. When they go on strike, you say they shouldn't go on strike, that they are doing very well.
And the day you decide to pay them, you remove the number of days they were on strike for.
Now, if fear is fear.
Sorry, Mr. Fanimo, let me hold your thoughts. We have a call right now. Sorry, we'll come back to that conversation. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to People's Voice on VOP TV.
Sorry, Mr. Fanimo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, good evening. I like what your analyst is saying. He's on point, perfectly on point, and really, really intelligent Nigerian. But let us analyze the issue critically. This is stated by the tax reform, because if you listen to the tax reform, it will come to effect by January 1. And that means with the new tax, that means it will bite a little deeper into their income. So they are trying to, how will I put it, augment beforehand the tax regime. So whether we like it or not, this proposal, because our senators, our legislators, and our leaders are not ready to sacrifice for the betterment of the country. All these are necessitated by the tax reform, which we know that it will bite a little into their. And I will plead to Nigerians, if we don't come out together and speak in one voice, this will fly. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for calling. And again, a brilliant submission. He agrees with everything that Mr. Dele Fanimo has said. Thank you very much for that response, Mr. Fanimo. Let's look at it from a moral perspective now. Let me ask you a second question. Is it morally justifiable for politicians to demand salary increases when many Nigerians are struggling to make ends meet? And what message does this send to citizens? Already, citizens have been making noise about how politicians don't truly care about us. But it feels like this cannot be overemphasized. At a time like this, what's the moral justification behind their insensitivity?
You see, Nigerians are docile. We are definitely too docile.
Well, what should we have done? What options do we have?
By now, we should be talking of, and strident voices, making legislative engagement part-time.
Not a full-time job.
It shouldn't be a full-time job.
But it's really not a full-time job. They go on recess almost every
I
other
said,
time.
the Constitution says they must sit 180 days out of 365 days. That gives you just 6 months of 1 year that they will sit.
And in that 6 months, if you watch the plenary, a lot of them are not even on sit.
That is it. So if it is made part-time, The number of days you sit is what
Collect
you
the
get
money.
in as allowance. Everybody will sit up. Show me. I know, I don't want to mention names, but I know about 3 legislators that have been coming in and out of National Assembly that they have not sponsored one bill. Just one.
They are that unintelligent.
Some of them don't even know why they are there. You saw on TV one, I think it was one representative from Oyo State. The kind of, in fact, an Agbero, a tout, will not comport himself the way he was comporting himself, and come and see. In fact, if you hear the grammar from that person.
I saw it. I'm just acting like I choose not to.
Hey, in fact, Queen Elizabeth will wake up from her grave to challenge Nigeria. How that person found his way into the hollow chamber of the National Assembly still beats my imagination.
So there's no moral justification for this salary
Let us say,
increment.
what are they doing for us? The only laws they pass today is either their palms are greased, or they know that they are going to be direct beneficiary of that policy.
But
That is only when they are active.
Do you think that our political class is a class of insensitive people, or is it that they are totally disconnected from the reality of Nigerians? Because I do not think that an employer who knows what the state of the nation is right now will be able to flaunt some things in the front of his own employees, let alone government officials that were elected to serve the people. Is it a case of disconnect, or they are just insensitive? They truly feel that we are docile and nothing can be done.
It's not a case of insensitive attitude or disconnect. It's a problem of mindset.
On the part of the citizens, or
On the part of the politicians.
Okay.
The politician is thinking right from when he came up with the idea of contesting, of what benefits he will benefit from that office, and not what is taken to that office to elevate that office. And by extension, when you elevate the office, you are elevating the people. And he feels with his own mindset, because of the warped values he had espoused, he feels, okay, if I can steal 10 billion, I can still give back to the constituency 2 billion, and then return back and go and collect another 10 and give 2. So for 8 years.
So Nigerians are used to the barest minimum.
And we also help them to do this.
I can't have
Because if Yaya Bello, that have been accused of stealing Kogi State money, is given red carpet reception, and people were still dancing, and he was addressing a rally, a crowd of people he had killed. Because for every stealing in government, you are killing people. That bad road that made an articulated vehicle to tumble and the driver is killed, it is the person that ought to fix that road or make available money for the contractor that has killed that man. He didn't die alone, but he was killed. That hospital you take patient to and they don't have dressing, not to talk of drug, and that person is referred to another hospital, between the first hospital to the next is dead. Who kills that person?
Politicians.
The corrupt politician and government officials, and on like that. So why should we now pay somebody who is killing us? Is it to encourage him to kill more?
Why should we even pay somebody that is stealing so much from us? I mean, it's okay. These people, if you don't award contracts, you are killing the people. Then the fact that you are even stealing from us and you are mortgaging
we are
the future.
the ones encouraging them to steal.
How are we doing that?
Fine. Why should you go and queue in a legislator's house to ask for dividend of democracy.
They are hungry.
He is supposed to make law. He's not a contractor. And if you don't bring it, we won't be tied to you. You must go and steal to assuage them. Once you become a councillor, anybody that wants to do in-laws, girlfriends, father's burial, it is on you. You must buy
I've
cow.
never benefited from my councillor. Or
Maybe you didn't ask, or maybe you are comfortable. That's why you have not benefited. If you are a local government chairman, the problem of that local government, even to the point of anybody that wants to do abortion for his girlfriend, you have to pay.
Mr. Faniboy, enough. Let me go to the next question, please. Let's talk about this RMAFC's mandate. How do you respond to critics who have argued that that proposal is a clear case of politicians looking out for their own interest rather than serving the people? And this is another agency that is enabling politicians. And this is why people say that politicians can't be called thieves or killers without the support of civil servants.
Obasanjo created that RUFAC, revenue allocation or whatever. He created it. You see, this problem that is festering now, Obasanjo created it. He heavily monetized politics, that politics suddenly became a profession.
The same Obasanjo, who is the hero of democracy, who loves Nigeria more than any other person.
Because we suffer collective amnesia. So that's why we praise Obasanjo. What did he do?
He helped us with the Paris Club.
The point is, look, either you like it or not, you can't be looking at an edifice without considering the foundation.
True.
Obasanjo laid foundation of the crisis we have today about politics, them making it a do or die. Because even the darky that Babangida ran when Tinubu was a senator, Babawande Abimbola was able to run for senatorial election. The likes of people who have names but not money ran that election. But let Babawande Abimbola now come out to say he wants to run in Oyo. And if even his son, if we vote for him without that money coming to him, who monetized it to that level? Now, the average Nigerian who are intelligent, who have the love of the country, the love of the masses, don't have opportunity of running election anymore in Nigeria.
Because they can't afford it.
Because they can afford it. To become a governor now in Nigeria, I'm not talking of Lagos State and Rivers, that we need about 250 billion. But the minimum to become a governor today in Nigeria, you need about 30 to 50 billion naira.
I don't understand. After you get the ticket, what's the money supposed to be for? The campaign materials and campaign should be from your political party. So why should you?
Have you been involved in electioneering?
I contested for student union in the university. I've
been part of media and strategy for about maybe 3-4 governments.
I've been part of it actually. I was just trying to before the year. I was
so you will know that those who come to collect money at the dead of night are more than the ones that you dole out in the morning.
The day. So
and these are people that would threaten you that you have not brought it here. And you know that language. That then you cannot come here to say you want to repo. For you to even get endorsement, just endorsement, not going to primaries. I remember those days when Adebibu was alive. Sometimes I sit with him in court in his house. Somebody will come. Baba, I'm your son. I'm from this place. Baba will say, what is it? What do you want? I want to be governor. Do you have money? Said he has money. Okay, let's start now. How much are you willing to drop? 50 million.
Just like that.
Just like that. And he will not take that money into his house. So he will call all the 33 local government chairmen of that party and distribute that money in your presence. Once he finishes distributing, the remaining one, he calls the wife and say, go and stock the kitchen. They will buy cow, buy amala and everything.
So that food that people come to eat every day outside that
that's the way the money comes.
Because I used to pass through that place every Friday then.
Now, the following day, somebody comes again and says he wants to become governor. Say, okay.
How much do you have?
How much do you have? He said, I'll put 100 million.
He will collect again.
He will collect. Then he will now call the person that dropped 50,000 naira yesterday. I say, that arrangement has changed. Would you mind senatorial seats?
Mr. Fanimo, at this junction.
It doesn't end there. That person may end up becoming House of Assembly.
Even the one with the 100 million naira.
I said, yes. Because somebody will come and bring 200. Someone will come and bring 500.
So it has been like that for a long time.
It has been like that. So now, somebody who just wanted Adedibu's endorsement, he has not gone into primaries and is dropping 500 million naira.
Okay. Mr. Fanimo, interesting. There's no moral justification for any of our political office holder to ask for an increment at this time. That's just the reality on ground. But we need to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll talk about the comparative perspective and how Nigerian political office holders' salary compared to others in other climes. Please stay tuned. To have you stay with People's Voice on VOP television, interesting conversation, and this is something that has to do with every Nigerian. If you elect people into political offices, then you are the employer. So if now the employees are asking for increment in salary, it is natural and expected for Nigerians to ask questions and understand the reality on ground and why politicians act the way they do. I still have with me in the studio Mr. Dele Fanimo, VOP's TV senior in-house analyst. Mr. Fanimo, let's look at this from the comparative perspective. How do Nigerian political office holders' salary compare to those in other countries? I mean, should we be looking to international best practices to inform our decisions?
Well, we don't need to look at international gauge. You understand?
We don't need to?
We don't need to gauge our wage emolument with that of America or elsewhere. You know why I'm saying this? Wages in America are wages. Michelle Obama said it. Everybody heard when she said there is a threshold of money they can spend in the White House. Now once they exhaust that money, any visitor that comes, Obama himself takes money out of his pocket to entertain that visitor.
Wow. There is a threshold.
Yes. She said it.
For the United States of America's
president. As the president of America.
Of the entire America.
Yes. So, it is not going to be business as usual. Do you know that American presidents, they become richer after leaving office?
Not while in office.
Not while in office.
Why is that so?
It is so because they cannot do certain things while they are in office. They cannot steal because the system is structured in such a way that if you steal, you will know. Nobody carries cash all about. So how do they become richer after leaving office? They become richer because they will be sought after all over the world to deliver lectures. If an next American president delivering a lecture takes an average of between $1 and $2 million for 1 hour. So imagine if he does that just maybe 3 times in a year. It's comfortable because we are not they are not greedy over there. Nobody's. Look at
Mr. Fanamo,
Johnson.
if you say that they are not greedy over there, are we really greedy, or is our system that has emboldened some of this
Johnson,
bad character?
Former Prime Minister of UK. The same house he was living before he became Prime Minister. That same house, no fence, nothing, was where he returned to. The teacup that he was using before he became Prime Minister, he returned to those teacups, and he was still serving his guests with those teacups.
Yeah, because he likes the teacups.
No! Look at their lifestyle.
That's why I was asking you about the system. Do you think that we cannot be people that we work in a standard that can match what we have in the Western world? Is it about being greedy, or just the fact that our system enables these things?
It is the system that enables this. The system is so porous that people can get away, and there are no consequences for infraction. When you don't have that, then there will be problem.
Because people can get away with anything.
People will get away with
anything. So if I steal 500 billion naira, I can have a court case.
You can imagine that somebody, one politician
naira.
said it some time ago, early this year, that if you want to steal, I think it was Ndumi. I don't know if it's, but somebody from Bono, a politician, said if you want to steal very well, so that you can. By the
time you part ways with some of the money, you still have something left.
So that you can do plea bargain. Look at the drama around Yaya Bello. You think the same thing they did to Ibori now, here in Nigeria.
Until the external
Ibori's dance was similar to Yaya Bello.
True.
And when he got to court, 139 charges. They said, go and say no more.
They read through in 139 and they saw that.
With 13 charges in UK, it was smart because the Queen's Counsel, equivalent of SAN here.
Sorry, Mr. Fanimo, we have to take this call now. Sorry, Mr. Fanimo, let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to People's Voice on VOP TV.
This is Aina calling back from Lagos.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Believe me, your guest has been on point. And please let him be careful the way he mentioned some, because when he mentioned that the Woods matter, I was scared, because my God, that was really honest of him, and I gave it to him. I gave him his onions. Now let's go back to the problem of the society. Blacks, we are naturally greedy. The word greed is written all over. It's in our DNA, and it's a function of poor leadership. It's a function of poor leadership, because if the society was good in a sincere way, most of the people that have led or end up in Kirikiri for life. So please, I really concur with your analyst. He is on point and he has his onions, and I give thumbs up to him. Thank you very much. God bless you very much.
All right, thank you so much for calling, Mr. Delifari. Thank you for doing justice to the topic. But let's move away from that and talk about accountability now. Shouldn't politicians be held accountable for their spending and financial decision before asking for salary increases? And how can we ensure transparency in their financial dealings? Because the truth is, we really do not even know the total package when it comes to what politicians earn.
You see, the laws are there. It is the will to implement the law. Growing up, after my secondary school living certificate, I worked with local governments, and I became the assistant cashier of the local government. You see, that's called what is called general order, which is administrative. That's what is called financial regulation, which is purely finance.
Okay.
All this stealing, it is because nobody is applying those rules.
Nobody's applying more, or they are enablers. They choose not to apply.
No, wait. Let me tell you. You see, if you must kill those who are corrupt in Nigeria, spare politicians, kill civil servants.
All of them.
Kill all of them.
Civil servants.
Civil servants. maybe except few that you can count on your finger.
So it's not just about Nigerian police now.
Police. Look, most houses, you heard the EFCC chairman saying that most estates in Abuja are owned by civil servants.
Yes.
What is the salary of a permanent secretary? Less than 2 million naira. What is the salary of a director? The director does not have up to 1 million naira, and they are owning estates in Abuja. You see, in financial regulation, if a file gets to a clerk, a clerical officer, level 4, then I'm a witness to it and I'm a participant. Once that clerical officer, if you want to take money, you write the head and subhead of where the money is located and you request for the money. If clerical officer says, in view of so, and so, in financial regulation, this money cannot be taken, that is the end of that request. If they take it to higher authority, the higher authority will refer
back to the other person,
back to the clerical officer, even up to permanent secretary. He dare not change it because he knows that he's going to jail.
Clerical officer?
Yes, I have done it. This is not a question of I read it.
So sorry, which year was this? Because I don't think these things are still. Or
in the early 80s,
same?
I left secondary school in 1981.
Are the laws still the same or they've been modified?
The law is still there, but nobody is applying.
So it feels like a chain or a web of thieves.
So already, the first person that killed civil service was IBB.
Brian Babangida.
Yes. He killed civil service.
As a military...
As a military president.
Head of state.
That was when, for him to be able to manipulate the civil service, he said anybody above level 10 can be taken, they can be promoted over and above his bosses to permanent secretary. So he called them that as a generals at that time. And from that time, civil servants became politicians in the civil service.
Hustling and jostling to get
the DG position. And at that time, we were seeing people, and that disrupted the civil service. There was a time in this country when Damshida, the former Oba of Benin, it was then a radio hour, and Mashido, these were the days of super permanent secretaries. They were stronger than even governors and presidents because they were the hub, the brain box of the civil service, and they held on to that position with dignity. But permanent secretaries now go to visit governors at home in the night.
All right, Mr. Fadiwo. Let's talk about prioritization. Given the many pressing challenges, which is a major concern that Nigerians are facing at the moment, there's poverty, high-level poverty. There's insecurity with everything that the government is doing. Being success has been recorded. There's a lot of insecurity ravaging communities. And there is the part of infrastructure deficits. Shouldn't the government prioritize addressing these issues over increasing salaries for political office holders, given that for every question asked about what is being done, you get the response from the presidency that, oh, a lot of monies have been disbursed to your governors. A lot of monies have been disbursed to the states and the local government areas. Oh, hold your government, your governors accountable. Are these people within the corridors of power not interested in the well-being of Nigerians? So if you are giving so much money to the state, if you feel like there's so much money, should the conversations be about reviewing salary at this time or addressing issues over their personal gains?
These politicians will never face infrastructure.
Never.
Will never. The only way that will make them face this issue of infrastructural deficit is for people to hold them accountable through electoral process.
Is the electoral process a way to hold politicians accountable?
Wait. If you know that you performed poorly at a lower level, and people can tell you to your face that look, the optics are not right, so don't bother.
Let me say this, Mr. Fanny. Let me establish this. Maybe calling out, maybe protest and the likes. Because if you talk about through electoral process, and this is not peculiar to any political parties, across all political parties in Nigeria, it's about the highest bidder. As a matter of fact,
who takes this highest bidder? Is it not the electorate?
Maybe a few of Nigerians, because Nigerians are only
who
left.
Takes money from this politician?
That's why I said a few
Ancestors.
of us. A few of us, because the majority of Nigerians that go to the ballot are left with the options released by greedy political godfathers. And at the end of the day, I do not have the power to choose who will represent my constituency. I do not have the power to choose who wins the ticket in my political party. Because even as little as the local government elections, we saw all the dramas in Lagos State with the the local government elections. And it's not peculiar to Lagos State. We saw what happened in Osun State. Before the election in Rivers State was nullified, we saw everything that happened. So it has become a tool in the hands of politicians. And Nigerians are always, I repeat, always stuck with the options given to us by these selfish political elites.
We are not ready. You see,
what should we do when we are ready?
When we are ready, go to the polls
and vote who?
And vote the candidate of your choice.
The candidate. Maybe I need to rephrase my statement. The candidates of my choice may never make it to the ballot papers. In 2023.
Then reject the political party.
So which political party are you going to reject? Let me take you back to 2023. In 2023, as much as a lot of people saw Peter Obi as a younger, maybe the young generation candidate, he was not able to weather the storm within a political party, which is a red flag for many. He went to the Labour Party, picked that ticket on a platter of gold. And with everything that is happening in the Labour Party today, you will also understand that Peter Obi will move to wherever he will get the ticket. In the All Progressives Congress, there was the drama about, there was going to be a consensus, there was going to be an anointed candidate before the Abeokuta statement of Bola Ahmed Tinubu Emilokon came. In the People's Democratic Party, there were heavy drama around zoning and who the choice of candidates is. As a matter of fact, when zoning was not the topic, it was certain for people that there was an arrangement. But we saw how Tambawa play the joker at the dying minute, and Atiku Abubakar cleaned the ticket. At the end of the day, Nigerians are still stuck with the politicians that are most dramatic and understand how to play this chess game of politics to clean the tickets. So at the end of the day, whether it's Labour Party, SDP, ADC, PDP, and APC, there is no fresh wine for Nigerians to have a taste of what a good future might look like. We are still stuck with the same people who will get this power, and of course, automatically, they still recruit the same set of people that have been in power. So, if you say that we are not ready, what exactly are we supposed to do when we are ready?
When we are ready, one, you infiltrate the political parties. And when we are ready, we go for the best candidates. And if a political party brings up a candidate that has integrity deficits, vote that political party out of that power. And then it has to start from somewhere. It has to start from somewhere. We can't continue to talk and rant without taking the right step to ensure that we get it right. We will continue to talk and they will be having their way. And the only way to do it is to organize.
Do you think we are enablers? Do you think that the masses...
I know. It's not that I'm thinking. I know that we are enablers.
Of where we are today?
Yes. Yes. Why did Ghanaians refuse bags of rice? Are we poorer than Ghanaians? We have poor people in Ghana now. The politician brought a lorry load of rice and they told him to his face that he should take his rice away. They even threatened to kill him. He ran with his rice. Have you seen dead bodies on the road in Ghana that they are saying that it was because they didn't get that rice that they died? They will come and they will collect money and they will vote, and then you come and rant. What kind of rant is that? We are the enablers. We the electorate.
If we are enablers, is it about poverty, inexposure,
greed, warped values? Warped values.
So we are saying we are morally bankrupt?
Morally bankrupt. That is it.
So how do we change the narrative? Because, I mean, since I was born, it has always been, it will get better.
Look, my grandfather was somebody that, even when I was working in the local government, he will calculate the number of shirts I buy in a month. If it exceeds my salary, because I was made to save 20% of my salary. Out of the 80%, if I spend about 60% on buying clothes or shoes, he will now ask me, how much do you spend on transportation and feeding? If it doesn't tally with that salary. There was a time when I was giving out checks and we were paying coppers. There was a time my spending exceeded my salary. Do you know what my grandfather did? He went to the local government treasurer and accused him of stealing. He said, if you are not stealing, this boy will not steal. That is the way I was brought up. That's why till today, you can never trace stealing to me anywhere.
All right, Mr. Fadibo, we are completely out of time. Thank you so much.
But today now, Yahoo boys are encouraged by their parents.
Well, they even have association for mothers. That's how much we can take from you. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation.
It's always my pleasure.
Well, to our viewers, as we conclude People's Voice today, we reflect on the importance of citizens' engagement and participation in shaping our democracy. And these conversations will not end. The debate over salary increases for political office holders is just one example of how public opinion can influence policy decisions. And we encourage all our audience to continue the conversation, to hold our leaders accountable, and to demand transparency and accountability in governance. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep making your voices heard. I am Adefunke Jaisimi, and I still believe in this project, Nigeria. Nigeria will be great again. Good afternoon.